time for another Nerdy Virgin podcast. I'm actually recording this as I'm walking, doing another walking podcast. So this has been swimming around in my head. I want to run this by you. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. I could never get into Stargate the way I could get into Star Trek. And it's nothing to do with the quality of the show. Stargate's a fantastic show. Richard Dean Anderson, come on. How could you not like Richard Dean Anderson in Stargate? How could that not be a good thing for anybody? I don't think there's a universe. I don't even think there's a multiverse where there's somebody in that multiverse who is like, Richard Dean Anderson in Stargate. I don't think so. I feel like that's universally accepted. I just think we can all agree Richard Dean Anderson in Stargate was a beautiful idea. Totally, I am 100% on board. However, never really quite I didn't watch all the episodes. And for me, the reason, I think, is because there was no spaceship. It didn't have a spaceship. It had the gate. And there's something about a spaceship. Getting on the spaceship, that's exciting. The prospect of, first of all, the spaceship looks cool, okay? The spaceship looks cool. The Enterprise looks cool. It looks like it makes no sense. When they designed it, the actual engineers told Gene Roddenberry, this would not fly at all. And maybe that's why it looks so cool. It looks totally wrong. Like, imagine if you walk up to the gate on your Southwest Airlines flight and the plane only had one wing. And you're like, I don't know much about planes, but I don't feel good about this at all. That's what the Enterprise feels like. It just defies gravity in how it's designed. And it's got these giant engine things that are connected to the secondary hull by what appear to be thin sticks. Very, very thin sticks. Without these engines, it can't fly. It can't go. It can't travel from solar system to solar system without these engines. And I feel like the engines are kind of just attached with these two little skinny things that could easily snap. If I need that part of the ship to get from one part of the universe to the other part of the universe, I want at least two things. At least a triangle, right? But the ship just, it's a cool looking ship. So the thought of every episode, let's go aboard this cool looking ship and fly to another planet. And then with Stargate, it's just, let's just walk through this gate. Yeah, how are we going to get to this planet? Just walk through the gate. It just, you can't launch. And look, guys, gate, it's just a fancy word for door. Star door, that's really what it is. You want to call it a gate, sure. It's a door, star door. It's just like, Star Trek, we're, set a course for Atheon Prime, Warp 9. Stargate, it's like, it's just right through there on your left. Just go through the gate. It's not as exciting. That's my take on that. It's my hot take. The other thing that bothers me about the Stargate is that if something happens to the gate, you're trapped. Then again, if something happens to the ship, you're trapped. So I guess that doesn't really hold water. But it's always, if we don't do something about this gate, we're going to be trapped. But even with Star Trek, there were emergency shuttles, there were escape pods, there were backup plans. Stargate, it's just the gate. It's the one gate. Unless you could bring another gate with you. And by the way, did you notice that in later seasons of Stargate, they did introduce an actual spaceship? Can I just say, sooner or later. I think sooner or later when you're doing science fiction, you need a spaceship. Deep Space Nine, first 3 seasons, or the first 2 seasons, no spaceship. No, it's space station. It's a station-bound story. Season 3, there's the Defiant spaceship. You need a good ride. You need a good ride in any of these situations. Yes. There we go. I feel good about that. I feel that makes sense to me. That makes total sense to me. It's just not as exciting. It's not as exciting. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Other than that, how am I'm actually exercising tonight. How about that? Now the problem is I've been doing this as a video podcast, so I guess is this one just going to be an audio podcast? That may be what we have to do. That may be the reality of the situation. It may very well be the reality of the situation. I went off my diet this week. I was traveling. Hard to find healthy options. Is it hard to find healthy options? Or could I have just taken a lift to a grocery store and instead of going out to eat? It's actually quite easy to find healthy options. Surprisingly easy to find healthy options. I need to calm down. Need to calm down. Need to just be honest. Did I kind of use it as an excuse to cheat on my diet? Maybe just a little. But I was able to stay away from the sweets. The biggest sin, I think, was I had whole grain cereal that had a ton of sugar in it. And it was the healthy cereal option at the table. That was the biggest sin. That was the biggest sin. Yeah, Star Door, that's what they should call it. Right? But you might say to me, well, listen, it's not just about the spaceship, Josh. It's about the writing and the adventure and the theme and the plot and the this and the that and the other. Well, for you, maybe. But I finally come to the conclusion, and I'm ashamed to admit this, but one of the primary reasons why I show up to Star Trek, and I've learned this, and I think it's one of the primary reasons why a lot of people watch whatever they watch, I'm in it for the spaceships. I'm in it for the spaceships. I don't know what to tell you. I'm in it for the spaceships. I think when people are watching Game of Thrones, I think a vast majority of the people are in it for the dragons. They're going to listen to 90 minutes of dialogue, but can I just see a dragon breathe fire and melt someone? That's all I'm waiting for. That's what they want. In me, I want the spaceship. That's what I want. That's what some people want. That's what it's all about. That's what I feel like all episodic drama television is, because, and now things are changing the way technology is making special effects easier to do at a smaller level. But I would say if there's a period there where you see a superhero movie, nonstop action, special effects. Superhero TV show, they don't have the budget to do that. So it's 59 minutes of talking and then 1 minute of the special effects. And that's, that's how badly do you want to see the Flash run fast? Bad enough to sit through 59 minutes of people in a room talking about what's going to happen. Then that's your show. And for me, 59 minutes of people talking about space, and then I just need to see that ship fly by, and I'm good. I'm good. I'm really glad I'm a sophisticated science fiction enthusiast. Really glad. Ashamed to admit it, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Has this been 10 minutes? I try to keep it at 10 minutes. 9:27. Great. Done. Remember that guy, Dr. Paul Mannheim? He broke time? Yeah, almost destroyed the entire space-time continuum. Anyone ever go back and check on him? It seemed like he learned his lesson. From the logs I've read, it looks like he didn't learn his lesson at all. It's fine, he'll just be more careful. I don't know, man. I feel like time might be broken. It's fine, he'll just be more careful. Yeah. So you're just the transporter chief? What do you mean, just the transporter chief? You're out there in deep space for months. It seems like there might be a long time where no one's using the transporter. Dude, shut up. What's your problem? Of course we could be doing other things, but then that defeats the whole purpose of being the transporter chief. You're in the transporter room, you're alone, no one's bothering you. Yeah, occasionally there's a transport accident and you feel drama about it. But outside of that, the hours are fantastic. Oh, you don't want them to know that because then they'll give you more work. Exactly. I just keep telling them I have to recalibrate stuff. I haven't really done any actual work in 18 months. That's impressive. Chief O'Brien didn't know what he was missing until he was gone. So how long have the Emperor and Darth Vader just been staring at them building the Death Star? A good 5 hours. I need to ask them a question about the letterhead. I wouldn't, man. They have that, "Ooh, this is the Death Star" gaze. Listen, I get that the construction is impressive, but how can they just non-stop just be staring at it? Sorry, what? The back of the Starfleet pin should be circular. I say it should be ovular. Is it ovular or ovular? Or is it both? Player's choice? A perfect circle connotes continuity. An oval suggests sensuality. I think both of you have mental health issues that you should check out. Starfleet will not tolerate ovals. If you're too afraid to embrace the ovals, maybe you should make room for someone who can. I think he's going full Shelby. The city needs you, Batman. It's rush hour. I can't help. But you're Batman. This is why I only come out at night. It's 5 o'clock. If I leave the Batcave now, it's going to take at least 40 to 50 minutes before I get there. Okay, take the Batcopter. This is a Batmobile situation. What does it matter what vehicle you take? And the more you do this, the more you get the feel for it. Sometimes it's a Batcycle, sometimes it's a Batcopter, sometimes it's a Batboat. This is definitely a Batmobile situation. It's a bank robbery. What does it matter? I took the Bat submarine once. Very embarrassed when I realized when they were talking about the lazy river, it was at the water park, not an actual river. Darth Vader's pissed. What'd you say to him? All I said was that the Super Star Destroyer is a bit much. He's obsessed with the Super Star Destroyer. Don't you know that? It can't corner. We're the evil empire, okay? We don't corner. Other things have to corner around us. It's just not really adding anything to the conversation of Star Destroyers. Not only does that not make any sense, you shouldn't say it in front of somebody who's, I don't know, a monster. I think there's still good in him. Not a lot. Just enough. They court-martialed that rogue Starfleet captain. What's he accused of? Following the Prime Directive. Aren't you supposed to follow the Prime Directive? The good captains never follow the Prime Directive. Shouldn't we just get rid of the Prime Directive? If you get rid of the Prime Directive, then that won't compel the rogue captains to want to violate the Prime Directive. That's a reverse psychology thing. Yes, so they're court-martialing this guy. What's the punishment? They're taking away his casual jacket. That's a gut punch. I feel that in my gut. That's really harsh. The Death Star is approaching the Rebel base. We need only fly around the gas giant, and victory will be ours. We should totally send a squadron of Star Destroyers around the other side so that none of the Rebels can escape. We're gonna do that, right? There's no need to do that, nor do we need to worry about the approaching fighters. Let's just blow up the gas giant. That'll take care of the moon, right? I think that would really take care of things from a physics point of view. Well, you're wrong. The Empire has a system of fighting. We announce that we are arriving, we take a long time to arrive, and then once we finally arrive, we win. Yeah, except we never win. I think we always seem to... There's so many problems here. Can we move the weapons officer so that they're in front of the captain on the bridge? How dare you challenge the layout of the Enterprise D? I don't want the guy firing phasers and torpedoes to be behind me. He might not be able to hear me. I might come off muffled. The bridge acoustics are fine. We should put the counselor back there. Hey. Never disrespect the counselor like that again. What is it with the counselors in this century? The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant to the power of the Force. So you've used the Force to destroy something bigger than a planet? Well, no, but what's the biggest thing you've destroyed with the Force? I slowed down a ship once. Yeah, I think Death Star 1, Force 0 right now, right, everybody? I destroyed all the Jedi. Yeah, but that took you weeks, months, years. I mean, have you destroyed all of them? Hi, I'm Ahsoka. Here I am. I'm still alive. That's a really sore point. There's a low blow on your part. Lord Vader, is there a reason why we have tiny robots rolling around that are programmed with a sense of fear? I didn't order them. None of us ordered them. Should we ask the Emperor? My ears are burning. What's with the tiny robots that are rolling around that are programmed to feel fear? I thought Vader was the one who... Those aren't mine. Yeah, it's none of us. You mean we've just had random robots rolling around that feel fear for no reason whatsoever? We should keep this between ourselves. Yes, don't let anyone know about this. Our lips are sealed. They are annoying, though. We're all in agreement.
Nerdyvirgin.com